Okay, here's a request. Oops, I lost the cap. Okay. Got me. But it sure does put a load of air up into the bow housing. So, I told Cutworm that's going to stay. Now I got to find the cap. I'm leaving that on there. I got the oil pump apart. Here's that bypass inlet. Whatever oil's in here is green. She bleeds green. I don't know what oil that is. It's like a blue-green. Doesn't have any smell to it. So, can't get the harmonic balancer off. Just stripped my puller. So, but it was dead to begin with after 30 years. The threads were right at the end, and this one proved to be a battle. So, let's get that out of there before it's on the floor. Oh, wrong way. Yeah, okay. We ain't saving it anyway. Still good. That's rat piss. Or mouse piss. That's something piss. That's something piss. Hopefully we don't see no eyeballs coming out of those two holes. You cats. Hold on. I can't take this cover off. I can't get the harmonic balancer off. Great. That's not steel, I can tell you that. And the metal doesn't seem to be eating away. Has a distinct smell to it. I could swear that's mouse piss. Perfect place to make a home. You could easily get in any of these tubes. Right there, right there. And up the wahoo. Whew. I think it's time to wheel this outside and put the hose to that. See what comes out. Okay, so the whole motor's torn down. Almost. I say almost. I've inspected all the bearings. I've rolled the ones out of the bottom. I put that main back on to support the crank as I roll it around. No bearings have spun. No bearings are wasted. It looks like there's been some dirt in the bearings. The crank isn't hammered, but I know enough about AMC that I don't think I want to polish it. I want to keep the tolerances tight. The oil that's in the pump is brand new looking and green. That to me, I mean, I could be wrong. That looks like 2-cycle oil. That's exactly what it looks like to me. It looks like two-cycle oil, unless there's oil that runs out there that's the same exact color as and consistency of two-cycle oil. So, a little on there. Looks just like two-cycle oil to me. But the pan tells a different story. When I pulled the pan off, the bottom of the pan is fully like fudged with shit. Now I did notice that someone made this pan, and the reason I say they made the pan is this is a stock pan. This was added on. They did actually when they built it, they did a really nice job. But they used the same tab that would hold your drain plug in as an AMC, same way I did it, and they put it on the bottom. And as you can see, there's a little weld here and a little weld here now, and this is welded over and it has a little dip in it. So even this pan took a beating hitting something, and then they moved the plug up there, which is like that far up. Now I don't know, I'm not a mud bogger, but I'm assuming this shit's got to get inside the engine. I know when any moisture gets in an engine, if you run it, the moisture does dissipate and come back out. That's what you have breathers for, so it doesn't lay. I have no signs of rust. I mean, you can see the crank is bare metal. No rust on any rods, no rust, nothing. The heads had rust on them because they weren't on the engine. But the inside of the pan looks like it came out of an 800,000 mile truck. Now, I figure the reason this engine came out, I'm not really sure, is I think this engine was running low on oil pressure. And the reason I say it is, this is the pickup. Remember I told you guys I had a swing pickup on it? It's actually a millibone part. I wiped the sludge off the top of it. But look at the bottom. So, and I don't know how much more was actually on there, because, I mean, I moved it around a bunch before I pulled it out. So these are good pickups. Like I said, you can run two inlets or just one inlet. They chose to run one inlet with a line this big. So the line is a monster. And Paul had noted on there, and I knew this but forgot, I didn't know the exact numbers. It brings it from 5 to 6 gallons flow to 6 to 12. So it doubles the amount of flow running it through this setup than it does when you use the original line with this pickup. So it's definitely a nice mod that they did. But I think that's the death note. And I'll be truthful with you, I don't think that's sludge. I found a couple of pieces in the engine that actually look like leaves. And there's no way the leaves can get down in there. So, and obviously get run. So it's kind of weird. Definitely kind of weird. I had no engine oil in here to drain out other than this stuff that you see. So I don't know. I don't know how the green stuff got there. That's my question. The pump is good. All this, you know, I mean, the gears are good, the bore is good, the surface it rides is good, the pickup is clear. There's all green in there. I haven't pulled off this filter yet. Like I said, the rods on this engine were resized. The rods on this engine were fitted to the sides with the end play. You could see the backs were ground down for balancing. You can see this thing was balanced. They've actually added weight there. I mean, that could have been from the factory, but usually not. And these have slightly different machining on it than they would come from the factory. Nothing's knife edged or anything like that. So, a little bit of a mystery. The bearings are dated April of 1998. The back of the motor is written on in September of 98. So, all sounds about right. It's never been apart, at least bearing wise, since the motor was built. What's that, 18 years ago? How long Cutworm has it? How long Cutworm used it? Who used it before him? I don't know any of those answers. Really doesn't matter. The point is the motor's not junk. It's far from junk. It just needs a little TLC to be back on its merry, happy, tire shredding way. And I think we're going to give it what it needs. With that said, I'm going to get myself a new puller because, like I said, this one finally died. It's only a snap-on case. And we'll get the crank out of here. We'll get the cam out of here. There's no rust or anything on the cam. I'm curious what it is. I'm not going to reuse it. I took a quick measurement of it, and I think it's either a comps 270 or a comps 280, which is way undersized for what's done to this engine, let me tell you. That makes me scratch my head right there, why they would go through all this trouble and keep the cam so small. But with all that said, I dove into this before. Junior's annoyed with me because he was doing something on the model, so that didn't quite work out well. So that's why you didn't see him here. But I think that's it for now. No, that's all I could do. So tomorrow's Easter. Tomorrow I'm going to take a break. Sit there like a lump. I get to sit like a lump every once in a while. I'd like to put the pan back on and the cross member. Maybe that pan could be modified. When they built it, they put the baffle back in, the factory one. And I could see it's been out because the factory uses spot welds. They actually tacked it in. So they did a good job getting it out. Because damn, I couldn't get it out without destroying it. And actually, this is what most people told me to do. And you can see their wisdom hooks. Most people told me to take that out and put it back in, but the Millodon pickup doesn't make it there. So maybe we'll take a peek at this pan. So I think there's going to be a little delay on this for a little while. So, pan definitely has to be shortened. It isn't a matter of shortening, it's a question of this. How much of that would we have to hack out? And in theory, you're at 9 1/4. My other pan's at 9. Believe it or not, that extra inch on the Concord does not sit high. That might be an issue. That might be a major dragger. But I think this is the issue right here. I think right here would be the issue. I think my cross member sits too far back for that. So, I could be wrong. Nobody on the AMC forum recognizes this pan at all. But to show you that they did do a decent job, this is actually formed to the back of the pan. See this? This is all part of it, to right here. Yeah, I couldn't do that good. So it's like this box was pre-made, folded over. This has like a TIG edge on it, and they actually folded it with this in there. Even has the half rounds in it, and brought it straight up the back. Now this is where they say the issue comes if you weld directly to this, it pulls this point up. And that's where people had a lot of problems. That's why I went in a little further and left a reveal on there to try and avoid that. Could probably pull an inch off this pan, seal up those holes, raise up the tubes, and do whatever. It's a thought, trust me. It's definitely a thought.